Hi, you guys, this is Misty. Welcome to my channel, The Oracle Evolution. Thank you for being here. I wanted to do something a little bit different today. And so basically what happened is that I started doing just a quick read for myself using the Rebel deck. This is, actually not, there it is right there. It's not my favorite deck because it can be a little hardcore and I can be just a little bit sensitive. But sometimes I'll pick it up and use it and see what the messages are. And but while I was shuffling, the card that immediately popped out was this one here, which says Detox. And the important thing about that card, or why it even really caught my eye, is the fact that a couple of days ago I actually used the deck, and one of the messages that came out had to do with detoxing, and it came out for myself, and I also did like a little quick read for a friend, and the same card Detox came out for that person as well. And so that kind of gave me the feeling that this is might be something that's a little bit bigger. It might be a message that is for more than just myself and more than even just that friend. So in case this is something that you need to hear, I wanted to go ahead and share that. The other thing is that, like I said, this is a message Detox popped out, and I'm going to share the rest of the message for today because I think that that's also for someone else as well. But I'm probably going to have those as two separate messages. They're separate. I mean, it feels like they're separate messages, but they can be separate, but they can also go together. But I'm just going to go ahead and separate them and just go ahead and watch both, and hopefully they both resonate for you. But also, like I said, it happened a couple of days ago, and I already knew that I needed to detox. Just a little bit about me. When I started on kind of like my spiritual journey, one of the things that I immediately noticed had to do with my diet. And that means that I can no longer eat a lot of the foods that I used to eat, that I used to love. If it's not really meant for me to eat, and there are, several of those foods, and I'll share some of them with you. But I kind of have typically, I don't want to say immediate consequences, but they could be pretty bad. It depends on, on how bad I go off of the diet that I'm supposed to have. And so some of those things had to do with, well, I mean gluten, but that's like in everything. But so breads, I try to stay away from breads. I also try to eat a little bit less meat. Not to say that I don't eat meat, but I try to eat less meat, or it'll be a little bit hard for me. I had to change some things like eating before bed, which I'm one of those people, or I used to be one of those people that was my thing. Like if I could eat nothing all day, but when it's time to go to bed, like I'm gonna fill my stomach up with food, and then I go to bed. And there's a whole story behind, why I had to stop eating right before bed. And another one, which how can I forget, but dairy, which is one of my absolute favorites. I love milk. I love cereal with milk. But for some reason, once I kind of started the journey, I've not been able to really digest milk very well. So anyways, I already knew that I had kind of gone off and started just doing whatever I wanted to do with my diet. Not too bad, not too bad, because I do know the worse off my diet is, the worse the results are going to be for me, and the quicker the results. So if I can be like a little bit bad, just like every now and then, I don't know what my son's doing in there, but a little bit, if I can be like a little bit bad, get off just like a little bit, maybe like eat one slice of bread here, eat one bowl of cereal like 2 weeks later or something like that, then it's not as bad. But when I start doing it on a daily basis, then I'm going to get really sick. and it's going to be really bad for me. So, and I also want to say, like, detoxing is not just about your foods. Detoxing could be, it could have something to do with your diet. It could have something to do with like detoxing the people in your life. People that are not necessarily good for your life. It could have something to do with, yes, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, is that better? Yes, okay. Sorry, my son is telling me to smile. So that's what I'm doing now. Thank you, baby. But also, when we're talking about, they're going to see you in your undies if you come over here. But also, it could have to do with like maybe a bad habit that you have or something like that. But there are so many different ways that you can detox in your life, or things that you may need to detox. So I'm specifically talking about my diet because I know that that's one of the areas that I did need to work on, that I needed to kind of fix. So anyways, that popped out, and so not only did that pop out, but I also kind of ignored that message from several days ago, and lo and behold, guess who got sick this morning? So 2 o'clock this morning, I woke up. I was very sick. I've been sick the entire day. I was not able to get out of the bed until, oh gosh, it could have been noon, 1, 2 o'clock. I don't know. I was, like, it hit me really bad. And the thing of it is that, I can't be mad that I was sick because I received a warning, right? I received a warning. And even before that, my intuition was telling me like, okay, you've fallen off of this diet that you know that you have to follow. Like, there's no if, ands, or buts about it, right? You have to follow this diet. And, I knew that I fell off. I knew that I would have consequences, and I already know like what the consequences are when I don't follow that diet, right? So I knew it was coming, and I actually, occasionally would think about, okay, it's probably going to be coming soon, because I could feel it more and more. But sometimes you just like to do what you like to do, and you know what? Sometimes those consequences are totally worth it. Okay, but only you can decide that. Bottom line is, I knew that it was coming. I knew that this message was more than just for myself, and so I was. So earlier, I was just a little bit before I started recording this video, I was just kind of in a light meditation, like wondering, okay, well, how am I going to give this message? Like, what am I supposed to say about it? Okay, detox, but what about detoxing? Like, why is this message so important? And one of the things that I do when I am like just meditating, when I'm thinking, whatever, I like to shuffle cards. That's like one of the things that I do quite often. And I noticed, and all I was thinking about was the message. Okay, how do I give this message about detoxing? Why is this important? And cards were just flying out, right? And I let the cards fly out. I kind of put them up, put them in order. And I happened to look at the cards that were coming out while I'm doing this meditation of okay, like, what am I supposed to talk about with this detox? And so it was very interesting. So I'm going to share the cards that came up. Those cards that came up, they actually came from this deck here, which is the Shaman's Dream Oracle. It's a very beautiful card deck. And so I kept everything in the exact same order that they came out as. And I usually don't do that. Like, I shuffle cards all the time, and I just, gather them all back up and put them up and, shuffle again. So, or if it's a message for me, I'll read the message and I'll be like, okay, noted, and I'll put the cards back up and just move on. So for some reason, I felt the need to keep these cards and to keep them in that order, and I can't put them away until I share the message with you guys. Okay. The first card that came out that had to do with this whole message of detoxing is right here. If you can see, it's a feast of plenty, and it says choices and their consequences, right? So know that whether you choose to detox or not, because it is your choice, because we all do have quote unquote free will, I guess. And I have my thoughts on free will. I love to say that free will is not exactly free. It's not exactly that black and white, because notice it says you have choices and there are consequences. So there are choices that you make and there are going to be consequences. And sometimes you're going to love those consequences that you have because they're going to be, positive for you, or you might not quite like the consequences. Eventually you're still going to have to, if we're talking about detoxing, like you may choose not to detox, right? And you deal with those consequences and you keep going on about your business, but eventually you're going to have to detox, right? And so the next card that came out was this one here, the farther gate, and it says bold step forward, bold step forward. And for me, you have a choice to make, and you're being called to detox. Again, what it is exactly that you're supposed to be detoxing, that's something that only you know. I can't answer that for you at this time. I know what it is for me. But whatever it is, you're being called to take that leap, to take that bold step forward. The next one is wall, right? So obstacle. So you're being faced with an obstacle of there's a reason that you need to detox. And like you have something to do. There's a purpose for it. There's a greater purpose. There's something in your life that's being blocked by this need to detox. And whatever it is that is being blocked, again, for everyone it's going to be something different, but it could have something to do with work. It could have something to do with a business you want to start. It could be have something to do with a job. It could have something to do with something blocking your finances, your abundance, your money, your something with your health. It could be anything. That's something that you're really going to have to kind of reflect on. But before you can actually take that really bold step forward to whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, there's an obstacle, and it requires you to detox. And why? Because we have the fortune's wheel, and it says luck and right timing. So why? Because it's time, divine timing. It's time. It's time for you to get whatever it is that you're supposed to receive, whatever this abundance is, whatever is your birthright, whatever is owed to you. It's time for it. It's time for it. But there's something blocking it right now. And you're going to have to take that leap and detox so that we can get it, so that you can get it going. We have preparations. It says the netcaster preparations come to fruition. So by doing this detox, it is going to open something. It's going to open some door for you. It's going to turn the wheel somehow. Like it's just something that needs to be done. But it's part of your preparation. Part of your preparation so that you can receive whatever is contracted to you, whatever God has for you, whatever Spirit has for you, universe, whatever you like to say. But you have a covenant with God. And in this lifetime, you're supposed to receive something And that detox, you need to do the detox so that it comes to you. The last two cards, I read them as kind of going back to the consequences, the choices and their consequences. And so the choice, what's behind door number one, I guess. So you can detox, you can choose to not detox. It's kind of like red pill, blue pill, I guess. You know, if you remember the Matrix, and I don't remember what pill is what, but we have, I don't know how to do this, but one we have is Lay of the Land, Ancestral Wisdom, and it's red. And we have Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. We have lots of white, but we also have some blue there. Red pill, blue pill. And again, I don't remember which one was which in the Matrix, but it's your choice. Do you want to go back to sleep? Do you want to forfeit that birthright? Do you want to give up that inheritance? Do you want to walk away from this spiritual journey? Or will you continue on learning the lay of the land, receiving ancestral wisdom that's going to help you to get your inheritance? I don't know. And then I thought it was also important to note that with the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck, what was at the bottom of that deck, and you guys, please excuse my nails, it's time to get them redone, but that's not always, like, I'm not really big on all that beauty stuff. So gathering around the power of community. The power of community. Wow, it's like it's going to open up doors. It's going to help you to receive your inheritance. You're going to be introduced to your tribe. I just see like people that are like you, that think like you, that want what you want, that believe what you believe. Not all exactly the same, different enough. But still your tribe. And at the top of the deck was this one, Many Masks, which Many Masks, the authentic self. Who are you? And are you ready to step into your authentic self? Are you ready? Only you can decide if you're ready. And it's funny, but it starts with a detox. You go in red, you go in blue. The choice is yours. So all of that from one card that says detox. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some shit out. What is it that you need to do? Anyways, that's all I have for that message. Thank you so much again for visiting my channel, The Oracle Evolution. Please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment if this message resonated with you, or even if it didn't, it's okay. You can still like the video. But thank you again for watching, and you guys have a wonderful night.